Yes, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Oris Talks Football. Today, we are going to be reviewing Premier League Game Week 27. Some really important fixtures, title race deciders. So join with Manny today, and we're just going to talk about all the games that we've got coming up, the North London Derby, etc. So, yeah, welcome, Manny.
What's up, Blair? Good to see you. Just us two for the night. Kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. It's Friday night. Everyone's out on the town.
100%. Get it done nice and quickly. Aston Villa vs Leeds. What do you think for this one? I know you're an admirer of Villa.
I'll keep it short and sweet. This is probably going to be a 2-1 win. Both teams obviously had contrasting fortunes in the FA Cup, with Aston Villa starting well, but then after Marco Bizot got sent off, they just completely imploded. And of course, that game was probably proof that you will need to have VAR. The only problem is that referees these days are so incompetent. They're now using it as a crutch more than anything else. Some of those decisions were absolutely awful. But it could very well be a blessing in disguise for the Villa, because Newcastle's reward was getting drawn against Manchester City, of all teams.
Yeah.
While Leeds United, after beating Birmingham, they have a much easier draw against Norwich City, a good old-fashioned classic tie from back in the day. And, Aston Villa, obviously, they had a bit of a blip at home recently, losing to Everton and Brentford, but they did grind out an ugly 1-0 win over Brighton, with Tyrone Mings scoring that goal. It was, of course, credited as a Jack Hinchelwood own goal. And as far as Leeds are concerned, I think they're doing well enough to make sure that they avoid relegation, but they probably might need to pick up some more points. I just don't see it happening at Villa. And with Matthew Cash coming back into the team, at least the defence might look a little bit more solid. It was feared that he might be out with a longer injury for a longer time than feared, but he should be back fit. Bizot, of course, being suspended means that Emi Martinez has to stay fit for the next few games. Otherwise, they're pretty much buggered. But I'm confident that this will be a 2-1 Villa win, and obviously they will need to start winning their home games again. They've got some decent games coming up in this run down the stretch to try and secure Champions League football. And this will be another scrappy win, 2-1. I don't see Leeds doing very much. And they're going to also have to try and find a way, Villa, to keep Dominic Calvert-Lewin quiet, definitely. And they do have some other good players in the midfield, in their midfield too. Of course, Villa did beat Leeds in the return fixture earlier, 2-1, by that same score that I'm predicting. Morgan Rogers stepping up with 2 brilliant goals. And I think that's going to be a repeat performance. I think Simon in the chat has gone for a 3-1 Villa win. I'm not too confident. I think Villa will still have a few fits and starts here and there. They're going to look to try and grind out some wins before some of their more important players come back from injury, hopefully.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, Matty Cash coming back would be a huge bonus, I think, for Aston Villa. He's a very important player to their squad. Whether he'll start, don't know yet, but 100%, I agree. In terms of Leeds, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, of course, is still one to keep an eye on. He's been banging the goals since joining the club, so he'll be one to keep an eye on this game. I imagine Aston Villa will go with Ollie Watkins over Tammy Abraham. What do you think, Manny?
No, this is where I'm going to disagree, because Tammy Abraham obviously had a brilliant start against Newcastle, scoring a goal. He was offside, definitely, but it was still an excellently taken set piece from Douglas Luiz. I think they clearly practiced that. You can see why Austin McPhee also has a moonlighting job working with Bobby Martinez at Portugal too. I think Abraham just seems to be in form and slightly hungrier, and this will be a chance for Tammy to prove his worth. Another home game. Watkins needs a bit of a rest because he does look a little bit out of sorts. And Simon saying that part of Leeds' mind will be on surviving this season. But I tell you what, given the way the draw has favoured them, I wouldn't be surprised if, Leeds do try and eye a bit of a cup run. Of course, if they beat Norwich and draw a bigger team in the next round, then, say la vie, that's the luck of the draw. But we'll see what happens. I think Farke's done a good job with them.
Yeah, 100%. Chelsea fan says 2-1. Big up to yourself. Orest did actually give us his prediction, so I'll just try to find that now.
Yeah, we do have some other predictions at the chat as well. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Orest went with a Aston Villa 3-0 win against Leeds. Big up to yourself, Reese. Simon Davis is 3-1. Yeah, 100%. Brentford vs Brighton. Ooh, this is quite an interesting game. Money?
What can you say about Brentford? Excellent away wins against Villa and Newcastle. A very good draw against an Arsenal team that could have been another Brentford win, but for some heroic last-minute defending. And, they're going places right now under Keith Andrews. And certainly the structure that they have right now means that, they're able to, withstand any sudden managerial and even player changes. And it's very good for them. Good for them. They are, of course, 7th in the table, and they could actually end up making Europe if we are given an extra Champions League spot. As it stands, we have 4 Champions League spots, but if Newcastle do qualify for the knockout stages and we have some teams going quite far, we could end up with another Champions League spot. So Brentford could get European football if they continue to do as well as they're doing. And I would certainly say that Brentford might have the advantage here because they're at home. Brighton just seem to be a little bit skittish at this particular moment in time, and they certainly haven't been able to, win many of their recent games. They got, comprehensively beaten by Liverpool in the FA Cup, it must be said, and their recent league form has certainly not been promising. So I would say that they're going to have some problems, and I'm actually sort of going to go for another Brentford win. This could be a very tight 2-1 win. And Reese, obviously, in the chat saying that Igor Thiago will be a threat. I do think Kevin Schade might be back from suspension, having been sent off against Aston Villa for a pretty poor challenge. So I think he might possibly be available for this game. I don't know. We'll have to see. But, on the evidence of form, Brentford have done just fine without him. But not just Igor Thiago, Reese. Dongo Utara, that acquisition from Bournemouth, he definitely will be a huge handful. So whoever plays at left back for Brighton is going to have a really, really tough afternoon, has to be said. 2-1 to the Bees. The Bees are going to sting the Seagulls. And that's the way I see it. What say you?
Well, Brighton won the reverse fixture 2-1 at the Amex. Again, it's Brentford at home. I think that they have been very strong this season under Keith Andrews. I didn't actually imagine Keith Andrews to do this well. I don't think many did. If you did, then props to you because, well, that is a prediction. But yeah, no, I do really, really appreciate Brentford how they've done this season at the moment. It was a very big change from, obviously from having Frank and then going into, having your, goalkeeping coach as a manager. Was it a goalkeeper or is it a set piece? He was a
set piece coach.
Yeah. I think it's a huge change. So yeah, no, props to Brentford. I think they've been incredible, and obviously Brighton have been struggling somewhat in recent times. So I'm gonna have to go with a 2-1 Brentford win.
Exactly my scoreline. And just so you know, Keith Andrews was a former Republic of Ireland international midfielder, so he couldn't have ended up becoming a goalkeeping coach. Unless, of course, he might have gotten in goal on a few occasions when the first choice was sent off and all their subs were used. And even then, I don't think we have any anecdotes of that.
Speaking of Brentford, did you see who is the player who does all the long throws for them?
I think it's Michael Coyote, Wiley Coyote, if you will.
Well, he posted a a video of his gender reveal for his child with his wife, and it was actually at the Brentford Stadium, the G-Tech, and he does his signature long throw, and puts the ball into the back of the net, and it did like a whole big like smoke cloud, and it was quite a good, interesting video. So if you haven't watched that, go check that out, because I think that was quite cool. Chelsea v Burnley. Ooh.
I don't even want to waste too much time on this. I know that Chelsea did draw against Leeds 2-2 at Stamford Bridge last time out, and that just underlines how good a team Leeds United are. But Burnley, I'm sorry to say this, they're getting cut adrift. They show so much endeavour, so much, spirit and fight, but they just can't really get it together. And I'm sorry to say this, but despite Martin Dubravka's excellence, they're still shipping goals left, right, and centre. 3-1 Chelsea. End of story.
Yeah. Burnley want to, of course, secure consecutive victories in London. So I reckon 3-1 Chelsea. I'll have to agree with you there. Chelsea are 14 places above. So a lot better side. They should win it on paper. You think they would? Of course, they came. Of course, Burnley actually did quite well against Crystal Palace to beat them 3-2. Came from 2 goals down. So we do have to give Burnley a little bit of credit where it's due. However, I think for this sort of game, I think that they're gonna have a bit of a struggle. So.
Absolutely.
West Ham vs Bournemouth.
Ooh, this is very difficult.
Oh,
obviously,
we've got some more predictions in the chat. Hold on, Manny. Sorry. Simon Davies says 3-0 Chelsea. Yeah. Reese says 2-0 to Chelsea. Reese says Solly March back in training. Yeah, that's a huge plus for Brighton.
So March back in February. Very nice.
Let's just get Orest's score prediction. He went with a 2-1 Chelsea win. And Mason says 3-0 to Chelsea.
What about the Brentford Brighton predictions for those guys?
Mason says 1-0. And Orest said 3-1.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting predictions indeed. So, now coming over to West Ham against Bournemouth. This is obviously going to be a very interesting clash indeed, because West Ham are starting to show some signs of resurgence. But Bournemouth also are, trying to find their way up. In fact, they have actually managed to climb all the way up into the top half of the table. They're in 9th right now, 1 point ahead of Newcastle in 10th. So excellent recovery from them. And I have to say that they are also still in the hunt for European football, given that they're 7 points off Chelsea in 5th and 3 points off Brentford in 7th, who are on 40. So they could also still end a difficult season with European football if they continue to have an excellent run. And I've got to say that, if we take a look, obviously, at how they performed in the games in midweek, obviously West Ham had a draw against Manchester United. They should have won that. Very good win for AFC Bournemouth against Everton, although Jake O'Brien getting sent off did help them quite a bit. Silly boy, really, for that. And I see this game being very open with a lot of end-to-end football. Andoni Iraola's style of football is absolutely wonderful when it comes off, and their excellent performances against the likes of Spurs and Liverpool at the Vitality Stadium are proof of that. Away from home, I wouldn't say they're much to write about, but going to the home of one of the teams in the relegation zone, they're going to be up against a team that will fight, and the likes of Jared Bowen and others will have a big role to play. How Nuno coaches against Iraola will be very interesting. I do see a lot of goals in this one. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that Bournemouth win this 3-2. And that will really, hopefully, please my mates over at Up the Cherries in all departments. Craig Beasley, Matthew Harrison, and everyone else.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, West Ham are still up for the fight. I think that they're that you know they obviously managed to rescue a late equaliser against Manchester United last week.
No, it was United who equalised.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, they conceded the late equaliser against Manchester United. But I still I think that they're still up for the fight. I think that they will definitely, try their hardest. I think in every single game for the remainder of the season. So I'm gonna have to go with a 2-2 draw.
Our first Desmond for the night. Lovely.
Yeah. A Chelsea fan says West Ham 1, Bournemouth 1. Reese says 2-1 to the Hammers. Simon says 2-1 to Bournemouth. Orest went with a 1-1 draw. And Mason went with. Did he? Yeah, he did. West Ham 2-1 Bournemouth.
A large number of people backing the Hammers. I think Bournemouth just seem to be the team in really good form right now.
Manchester City vs Newcastle.
Interesting. I know a large number of people, especially Arsenal fans, are going to have their eyes on this game because after our, shambles over it up in Molineux, we're in a position where if City win this, they are effectively 2 points behind us. And then we play, obviously, Spurs at the week on Sunday, Quo Vadis. And then, so we're going to have to make sure that we do our bit because I think City will do their bit. Now, a lot has been made of the fact that Newcastle had a long trip over to Azerbaijan, but the way they demolished Karabakh, I think, there's no doubt that they are a very, very capable team. Although, let's face it, it's Karabakh. They did well to reach the playoffs, but that's as good as it's going to get for them. They're not Bodo Glimt. Saw what I did there. And this is also going to be another chance for City to prove that when they lost to Newcastle at St. James's Park earlier on, that was a phase during a phase where they were not at their best, and they recovered well to beat Newcastle in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup over 2 legs, home and away. I think they won both legs. And I think City now, ever since that new Liverpool game, have a real, spring in their step and, the bit between their teeth. And they now believe, as bad as they are, as long as they've got Pep Guardiola and a few veterans from that treble-winning season still, with fire in their bellies, I think they will do well. And some of the newcomers who have come in over the course of this season and last season have stepped up and done really well. Not just Gay and Semenyo, but you think of Omar Marmoush, who can do the fandango. He's also certainly proven his worth as a backup striker to Haaland and can also certainly play in City's first team as more of an attacking midfielder, or almost a little bit like Mohamed Salah, sort of on the wing, if you will. And defensively, I think they still need to tighten up a little bit, but they are looking a lot better. As far as Newcastle are concerned, as long as they don't have Bruno Guimaraes, they're always going to struggle in midfield, no matter how good Sandro Tonali is. I think City are going to want to do whatever they can to make sure they win, and they're not going to take this lightly because they know that if they fail to win, then they hand the advantage back to us. I don't see how they can recover. But for me, I just think City will be a little bit too strong. Newcastle have dropped in the league. They will make the knockout stage, being the 6th English team out of 16. But I just don't think they're going to do very much in the league this season. So unless they win another cup, and of course they're drawn against City in the FA Cup, I might add, no European football for them next season. 2-1 to City. It'll be tough, but City have to find a way, and I think they will.
Yeah, 100%. Chelsea fan says Manchester City 2-1.
Agree with me there.
For me, of course, Newcastle saw Joe Linton return against Karabakh, which is quite promising for them. Huge player in their team, really. So that'd be quite interesting to see him coming back into the team. Huge bit of strength there added on for Newcastle coming into this match. I think Newcastle have got a very, very good team. I mean, Sandro Tonali, of course, excellent player. Anthony Gordon, who scored 4, so he'll be one to watch as well. I think that they did amazing. So I'm gonna have to go. And also for Manchester City, O'Reilly has also been doing quite well in the midfield role, and I'll imagine that he's going to maybe get a start today, get a start when they play. So, no, I mean, Semenyo has been incredible for him. Semenyo has been on fire since joining from Bournemouth. So yeah, I think it'll be a. I'm going to have to go with a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. You are hopeful, aren't you?
I am. I'm very hopeful. And that's a non-biased prediction as well. I thought I'd just mention that. I'll put that out there. It's a non-biased prediction.
I accept that. Just remember, it's the hope that kills you.
Orest said Manchester City 2, Newcastle 0. Mason went with Man City 2, Newcastle 2.
Why am I not surprised? Of the 3 Arsenal fans who've made their prediction, I'm the only one who's being honest. I'm joking, mate.
Crystal Palace vs Wolves.
Ooh. I'll tell you what. Had this been at some time earlier in the season, I probably would have, said that this was an easy win for Palace. But the way things are going, I'm not too sure about that, to be honest with you. And, obviously they drew against Zrinski Mostar, which a name which I could barely pronounce. And obviously I know that team reasonably well because Aston Villa played against them in the Conference League back in 2023-24. And they struggled for a long time until John McGinn scored a very late winner. This Crystal Palace team obviously is nowhere near as strong, and they found it difficult. They took the lead, but ended up getting pegged back. And all is not well right now with Palace. Glasner has said that he will leave at the end of the season, but it could very well be that he could end up getting his P45 before the end. And Wolves, I will congratulate them for that draw against us, but we know that they're going down. The only issue is, will they somehow get enough points to overtake Derby County's pitiful total and avoid being called the worst Premier League team in history? Yes, they will. There are plenty of games left. There are plenty of opportunities to get the points they need. Crystal Palace playing in front of their own fans at Selhurst Park. If they lose this, Glasner loses his job. So I don't think they can countenance that in any way. 2-1 Palace, another spirited performance from the Wolves, but their fate has long since sealed. And I think many of their players are now playing for either moves elsewhere or preparing for life in the Championship.
Yeah, 100%. It is difficult. It is a difficult game. I think that, of course, Crystal Palace have won 5 straight home Premier League games against Wolves at Selhurst Park. Palace haven't been that good. Just 1 win in their last 11 games, 11 league matches. And of course, Wolves will come in with the momentum against after drawing against Arsenal. So I think, of course, I don't think that they are gonna. I reckon they'll get over the Derby County record. I think that's the only thing that they're actually going to be playing for now for the rest of the season, which is what I said the other day. Is just trying not to get in that record. But yeah, no, I have to go. I'm going to go here with a 2-1 Palace win.
So the same score as me, and Chelsea fans also gone for the same scoreline. I wonder what Simon and Reese are saying about this one. Never mind Simon and Reese. What about Orest and Mason?
Orest and Mason did. So Orest went with a 2-1 Wolves win. And Mason went with Palace. Palace 1, Wolves 1.
Right. Interestingly enough, though, Palace's last home game in the Premiership was a shock 2-3 loss at home to Burnley, of all teams, with I think it was Jefferson Lerma who got the unwitting Burnley winner, an own goal. And afterwards, Burnley defended for their lives quite magnificently. Matthew Dubravka making some brilliant saves in the end. But, you just take a look at the table. You can't see Burnley staying up. And as I said, this is a must-win game for Palace. If they lose this game, Glasner loses his job. I just don't think that Wolves are going to have it in them to try to, win. But credit to Wolves again. I mean, they played really, really well, but we allowed them. I mean, I wouldn't say they played well. They were sloppy for the most part, but we allowed them to play well. We made them look good. And that's the thing that really made me angry about, about that performance on Wednesday.
Yeah, 100%. Nottingham Forest vs Liverpool.
Brilliant start under Pereira with that surprisingly easy win over a star-studded Fenerbahce team. They looked good. And Vitor Pereira basically told them, just enjoy yourselves and play the way you'd like to play. And it worked for them. And they're now coming up against a Liverpool team that are also trying to find their way back. I just don't know if they're necessarily the same. I mean, Liverpool, of course, did have an excellent 1-0 win over Sunderland, destroying their unbeaten home record. But they had to struggle in that game. And Wataru Endo found himself playing at right back due to so many injuries, and that poor bloke got injured. I think Joe Gomez is fit again. He came on for Endo, but I don't know if he's going to start at right back again. I think Joe Gomez needs to go. There are several good Premiership teams that would be happy to have him if Slot doesn't rate him that much. I see this one actually ending in a draw because, there is a bit of a bounce. I think Forest are feeling so much better since Dyche and his gang have left. And, this could there will be some goals in this. 2-2. Another Desmond.
Yeah, no, I agree. Liverpool have won 4 of their last 5 matches in all competitions. Forest will be under, of course, Vitor Pereira. And they recently won their Europa League match 3-0 against Fenerbahce. Head-to-head is interesting. Forest have recent positive results, and Liverpool haven't actually won away here in the last 15 league attempts historically. Liverpool also have a significant injury absences. But yeah, Joe Gomez is fit to start back in the defence. And I agree in terms of the comments you made about Gomez actually Mane. I believe he's a fantastic player. And if he's not going to be used, then I think he needs to move away. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with a 1-1 draw.
Well, Chelsea fan agrees with me. He's gone for a Desmond too. And sadly, he seems to be the only one left in the chat who's making predictions. Thank goodness for our co-hosts, Oris and Mason. What say they?
They've gone... Orest went with a 2-1 Forest win. And Mason went with a... don't think he actually did this game. No, I think he's missed out on this one. Yeah, no, nothing from Mason on that one. Sunderland vs Fulham.
Ooh, Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Fulham, of course, coming off an absolute shellacking at the expense of Manchester City. But, of course, they have secured their spot in the next round of the FA Cup, so that's good consolation for them. Sunderland also through to the next round, I believe, of the FA Cup, but they had a bad home loss against Liverpool. So Sunderland home, Fulham away could prove to be very, very interesting indeed. I don't even know if Granit Xhaka will be back for the Black Cats. So I think, Sunderland are once again going to have to try to, really regroup again as a team and try and find a way past Fulham. And Fulham, like Brighton, are also a very, very skittish team. You see them doing really good things against teams ranked higher, but against teams they're expected to beat, they just, they just soil the bed, it has to be said. And I think Fulham's league form of late has not really been the best. In fact, if we can check the table as well to find out where they are, Fulham have also dropped down a bit, so it will be difficult for them to get European football unless they get their act together. Sunderland are actually one place above them, so you could say that this is a kind of a mid-table six-pointer. So Sunderland being 2 points ahead of Fulham, and the winner obviously, benefits greatly. Fulham, if they win, will leapfrog Sunderland. Sadly for Fulham, I don't think they're going to get much out of this game. But I don't really see Sunderland being able to dominate and get a win either, especially if Xhaka's not going to be back fit in time.
Xhaka is back.
Oh, then I think it could very well be a Sunderland win. I'll go 2-1 to the Black Cats.
100%. Chelsea fan says Sunderland 2-0. I mean, Sunderland have had an extraordinary season, I think, as well, with Xhaka back as well. I think they can do some real damage in this game. Fulham haven't really been that good in the league recently, as you said. So, as much as I can agree with your prediction, I can also predict a Sunderland win here, because Sunderland are also unbeaten in their last 3 league matches, and Fulham have lost 6 of their last 8 away games.
Oh, wow.
Showing a little bit of
that is bad
vulnerability on the road. Yeah. Sunderland are also unbeaten in their last 5 of their last 6 home games, which gives them confidence, of course. Fulham have scored in each of their last 6 away league matches, and but recent head-to-head meetings have featured goals for both sides. So yeah, but I'm still going to go. I think Sunderland 2, Fulham 1.
Yeah, you predicted my scoreline there.
Orest says Sunderland 2-0 Fulham. Mason said Sunderland 1, Fulham 2.
Ooh. Maybe he didn't get the memo that Xhaka was back.
Everton vs Manchester United.
The David Moyes, Wayne Rooney derby. Should be fun. What a job Michael Carrick has done.
Yeah.
You've got to take your hat off to him. Obviously, to only get a point on their travels against West Ham team battling relegation was a bit of a disappointment. But, Carrick obviously has made United a lot, I'd say a lot happier. And you can see that in the way the likes of Kobbie Mainoo now feel as though they're a big part of the team again. Casemiro has had a rejuvenation in form. And they look really, really, really good right now. Obviously, that draw has knocked them back a bit because they are now 5 points behind Aston Villa. And when those two play at Old Trafford, that's going to be a clash for the ages. A lot of wonderful subplots. But as far as United and Everton are concerned, Everton also showing that they can play excellently well to win at Aston Villa, but then stumble in other games. And, that loss at home to Bournemouth was a pretty poor case of bad discipline more than anything else. They did show some good composure to continue attacking the Cherries until near the end. And it was an almighty defensive effort from the Cherries to secure those 3 points. So Everton at home this season have just been disappointing. And I actually believe that I don't even know if Carrick actually played under David Moyes while he was manager. I might want to perhaps look that up. I could be wrong. And I just think that Carrick obviously will go there and certainly see his team put on another good show. I'm not too sure that United had too many injury worries. And obviously with Jake O'Brien being suspended for Everton, that's a bit of a hole in their defence. And you know what? He was at Manchester United until 2018. So I'm pretty sure he did play under Moyes quite briefly. A lovely little reunion there. And I think the student will end up just, getting the better of the master here, because Everton's home record has been that poor and they've got quite a few problems coming into this. And of course, there is no Jack Grealish for the remainder of the season. 3-1 United. You heard this here.
Yeah, 100%. As you said about Jacob Bryan being suspended as well, they do have Seamus Coleman available now as a backup, as a cover option. So, however, Everton are winless in their last 5 Premier League matches. In their last 5 matches in all competitions, and haven't won at home recently. Mason Mount could also be back for Manchester United, but De Ligt also remains out. And United, of course, are unbeaten in 9 under Michael Carrick, who has been absolutely incredible. It would be very nice to see him actually get a permanent role at United. I think he deserves it. I mean, if you saw recently, he was speaking to the press about potentially staying as a permanent manager instead of an interim manager, and he was quite delighted to say that he would love the opportunity to join as a full-time manager at Manchester United. So, I mean, he deserves it. I think if he can continue up this winning streak till the end of the season, I'm sure that Manchester United will offer him a full-time job. But in regards to Everton, of course, since losing Jack Grealish, I think that they have struggled a bit, Everton. But I'm going to have to go with 3-1 as well, Manny.
Yeah, well, Chelsea fan in the chat saying that it'll be a little bit closer. And, there is a part of me that might think that it could be good if Carrick gets the job, but a lot of United fans, Oris being one of them, will probably warn you about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who replaced Jose Mourinho as well. And actually, I believe, saw the team play quite brilliantly to end up second in the table and guarantee Champions League football. But, obviously after that, things didn't go quite well. And if memory serves me right, he also lost the 2021 Europa League final to Unai Emery's Villarreal on penalties. David De Gea missing the penalty, which would have won it. And then, of course, with things going quite bad since then, he had to be relieved of his duties. So I'm a little bit wary of whether or not this will prove to be the start of a real resurgence for Manchester United, or whether it'll be another full storm the way Solskjaer was. So I would say, let's also not forget that City have nothing to play for this season, because they had early exits in both the domestic cups and they're not in Europe. So they can afford to, focus quite well on the league. If they had sacked Amorim much earlier, maybe they would have been in a better position, but it is what it is. And now Carrick is going to have to do what he can do to make sure they get Champions League football, and they are in with a very good shout. But I just don't know necessarily if it would be, necessarily the best thing to do to give him the full-time job. He could stay on as another assistant under the new manager, but if he does get the job full-time, I have to agree with you that he will have earned it. I just hope he fares better than Ole.
100%. Orest, the United fan, has gone with Everton 1, Manchester United 3. Mason has gone with Everton 2, Man United 1.
He doesn't like Manchester United.
No, it's a bit of a sticky prediction, that is. Of course, now it's time for us to get talking, Manny.
You can go first. You're the host.
Oh, where do I start? I mean, obviously we've been in very, very poor league form as of late. It's not been good. But however, I do come into this game confident. Of course, Spurs are on the opposite side of the table to us. They've got a lot of injuries. But we do have to remember they've just got a new manager in Igor Tudor. So, I mean, we've got Leandro Trossard, Kai Havertz, and Odegaard coming back into the team. Arteta says they should be fit, so hopefully that's the case. Bukayo Saka is also fully fit. So we are going to have a full squad pretty much, apart from Ricardo Calafiori obviously being out and Mikel Merino. However, I mean, it is shaky. I'm still stuck on the fence, I think, where we are here, because obviously we're away. It's a North London derby. The pressure is on now for the league title. However, I do still have to back Arsenal with it. So I am going to go with a 2-1 Arsenal win.
My sentiments exactly, and Chelsea fan says the same. And the reason why is because here's the thing about us, we've shown that when it comes to winning some of these smaller, not so glamorous games that we need to win in order to sustain our league challenge, we're incapable of doing that. But if our pride is hurt, and if we, have to make it personal, we end up, really turning it on. Let me cast your mind back, and I remember saying this on a stream I did last night. Shout out to the level-headed Arsenal fan Rashid for having me on. Hopefully, I can bring him on one of these shows one day, and he can also offer his thoughts. I said that when it comes to, making things personal, we always tend to, get fired up quite easily. If you recall, Flair, when we lost to Aston Villa at Villa Park, deservedly, it must be said, with that breathlessly late Emi Buendia winner, that spawned a lot of memes on Twitter, and I'm sure you'll have seen some of them, right?
Yeah.
Including Martin Odegaard doing the in-betweeners dance in the penalty.
Yeah, I saw that one, yeah. That did make me giggle, to be fair. It made me chuckle.
Yeah, I mean, it was just pathetic, really. And the thing is, I mean, is it just me, or do you think Martin Odegaard could also pass for an in-betweener?
I see. Odegaard it's a tricky situation, I think, at the moment with him. I think that he dictates a lot of our play going forward. If you keep an eye on him, a lot of people are really giving him a lot of stick at the moment. But really, if when he plays, keep an eye on him and see what he does with the ball. He's the one who brings the ball forward. He doesn't, he is a core part of the team. Although maybe he hasn't been banging in the goals as much as he did in the 22-23 season. However, part of that I have to blame Mikel Arteta, because Arteta drops him deeper. Every season that has gone on, Mikel Arteta has dropped him deeper, and that is a fact. So, I mean, realistically, also he had a lot of injury problems as of late as well. So just cutting him some slack, and I'm sure he'll be back to his best anytime soon. If I would like to see him maybe gone next season, I would want to sell him next season. I think now we've he's not the player to play under Arteta at the end of the day. I think that realistically, the way Arteta manages the team, I don't think it's Odegaard's sort of game. I think that maybe a move to Bayern Munich, which is actually what he's been linked with recently, would be quite good for him. Seeing as they do play a lot of 4-4-3 attack. No, I'd definitely sell him next season.
Yeah, well, obviously, it wasn't the answer I was looking for. I mean, because I asked you whether or not he could pass for an in-betweener. He does look like one of those boys, in my opinion. And you said it perfectly. But listen, you did say it perfectly, and I will come to him. Look, at his best, he can certainly be very influential, but he hasn't looked anything like it. And my biggest fear is that, teams playing against us have sort of sussed us out and sussed him out a great deal. And, we just don't seem to have that kind of dynamism that we need. And if we were to start, playing Eze in the 10 a lot more regularly, he gets back his confidence. I mean, you can't just give him a game, see him do well, and then, just drop him and call that rotation. That's not rotation. You play players in form, and if they're in form, they're the ones in possession of the jersey, and they get to keep it and have that run of games, and that's how you develop competition. Instead, Arteta's destroyed Eze's confidence, and now we're in a situation where Eze doesn't even know what his role might be in the team and where he'll be in the pecking order. I mean, for heaven's sake, if Havertz and Odegaard are back, I don't think Eze will get any minutes at the Tottenham Stadium. So that's what really makes me angry. But the reason why I spoke about Odegaard and the Villa Park game is that all of those memes were, created. And obviously, Aston Villa also, had a slow replay of that Buendia goal to the tune of "My Heart Will Go On." So, when Celine Dion goes into that, that last verse, that huge breaking voice, that's the exact moment the ball hits the net. And you see David Raya going full Randy Orton, and Arsenal's players dejected while Aston Villa literally celebrating. That's what they call the limbs, I believe. So, obviously, Arteta's decent at, reminding them of past hurts and making it, personal in a way, sort of trying to develop a kind of a vendetta. And it proved to an extent as we ended up swamping them 4-1 at the Emirates, although it was really only in the second half after Amadou Onana went off that we got a foothold in the game. And Marino should have been sent off. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We had the rub of the green that night.
Agreed.
So when it comes to trying to, heal some wounded pride, we know that we can turn it on. And it's a North London derby. So let's also not forget that Spurs did win European silverware last season while we didn't, and they improved their European legacy. For a few glorious days for them, they made us an absolute laughing stock. They had a trophy parade and everything, and they felt on top of the world. And then that idiot Daniel Levy saw it fit to sack Ange Postecoglou. Ridiculous. And I will say right now, nothing would give me more satisfaction than beating Spurs and seeing them plunge further and further down. I don't think they'll get relegated. It's going to be one of Spurs, Forest, or West Ham that will get relegated. And I don't see Spurs getting relegated, especially now that Tudor has come into the job and will try and play a more defensive formation. Whether he goes for a 3-4-3, I don't know, because Spurs do have some injury concerns themselves. I don't even know if they have enough fit defenders.
A lot.
So who are the players at?
Hold a moment. Let's have a look. They have got plenty, I think, Manning, to be honest. Who is injured for Spurs? Destiny Udogie. Dejan Kulusevski, Kevin Danso, Pedro Porro. There's a lot more. Tottenham again. Hang on. Kevin Danso, Pedro Porro, James Maddison, Mohamed Kudus, Richarlison, Rodrigo Bentancur, Ben Davies, and Lucas Bergvall.
Ooh, that is quite the list. And
Wilson Odobert as well, who has been...
Oh, yeah. ACL injury. So they hardly have any fit defenders. So the question is, do they go with a 3-4-3 or just stick to a normal 4-4-2? I want to say shout out to the Spurs Danalist. I was in the chat for his live stream earlier, and I was suggesting that whatever you do, you've got to play João Palhinha in the midfield. If you play him in defence, you're going to waste his talent and ability.
100%.
And I'm still going for a win. I just don't know if we will necessarily have the legs because Saka looks dead on his feet. Madueke looks out of sorts. I don't know if I want to even see Saka in the 10 because apart from that excellently taken headed goal, I don't think he did very much.
No, he wasn't in it at all, I don't think, to be honest.
Yeah. And if playing Saka in the 10 means having to play Nono Madueke on the right wing, then I don't want it. I would sooner... if Havertz is back and back fit, then in all likelihood, he'll probably go into the 10. Martinelli had his chance to impress on the left, and he didn't do that. He does have the knack of playing well on the right wing, and he has done quite well, so I'd stick him on the right. Trossard isn't injured. I think he will probably play. And I just know that he will go with Rice and Zubamendi in the midfield.
Yeah.
But you've got to feel for Christian Norgard. He's crying out for minutes.
I really do. I don't know if you see my posts, Manny, about him.
Yeah, I do see some of your posts, and I do like your posts. And, well done to you for all of that. But that poor bloke should really, really, really be banging on the door, demanding more meaningful minutes. He gets regular minutes in the Cups, but who have we played? Portsmouth, Wigan, we'll be playing Mansfield Town next. No, he needs some proper Premiership minutes. He deserves a chance to do a job in the Premiership and show that he can be an asset for us in this title charge. I think Rice almost looks dead on his feet. Zubamendi is weak as you know what. And, of course, up front, Gyökeres had a poor game against had 2 poor games against Brentford and Wolves. Actually, against Brentford, I think his hold-up play was really good. But against Wolves, I think he was, non-existent. Jesus didn't do very much either. So push to shove. Now, here's the issue here, because Timber is defensively very, very solid. I like him a great deal. When he combines with the right winger, be it Saka or Madueke, they form a really, really potent combination. Ben White can be really, really good at overlapping and going forward, but defensively, I just don't know if he's it.
That. Yeah.
I just don't know if defensively he's it. But, if we had to sort of refresh the team who are probably feeling a little bit, deflated mentally, I probably would go with Ben White at right back. It has to be Hinchapi at left back, no ifs, buts, or walnuts. I suppose it will have to be, Gabriel or Saliba, although there is a part of me that wouldn't mind bringing Mosquera into the lineup to give one of those 2 a rest. I just don't think Saliba's been at it this season. Raya, despite that absolute shambles, will continue in goal. But if he drops another stinker and we end up losing, I don't want to see him play for the remainder of the season.
No,
I don't rate Kepa that much, but I don't want to see him cost us another game. And to all of these Arsenal fans who gas up Raya saying he's world class, we don't miss Emi Martinez anymore, shut your mouths and wind your necks in. I'm sorry. He's just not it. So, Raya, Ben White, Piero Hinchapi, goalkeeper and fullbacks. It'll have to be Gabriel and Saliba, although I would like to see Mosquera come in for Saliba. I don't think it'll happen. Rice and Zubamendi, because we know that Arteta's going to pick his favourites. It'll probably be Havertz in the 10 if Odegaard isn't quite fit. I don't want to see Madueke there, but, he will be there. And again, it will be probably Trossard who will get the start because he came on as a sub and was subbed off, ironically. And I suppose it'll have to be Victor Gyökeres, so that's my 1-2-11. Do you agree or disagree?
I
did say that Ben White should come in.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hingapié, yeah. Saliba Gabriel, yeah. I imagine. Rice, Zubamendi, yeah. 10, I'd start Havertz. I think, yeah. Gyökeres. See, I don't know if I want Madueke or Saka.
Saka can't run. Madueke is incompetent. Martinelli and Trossard on the wings. That's what I would say.
No, see, I couldn't do that. I think they're both as bad as each other. I'd much rather Madueke and Saka started.
You mean Madueke on the left and Saka on the right?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. When our left wing has been abysmal, to be honest.
And the thing about Martinelli is he's our leading scorer in the Champions League this season, and he has made some great contributions in there. But in the Premier League, I just don't think he's cut it.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened, generally. It's weird, isn't it, how someone can go like mental in the cups. He's doing well in the cups as well, the cups and the Champions League, and then in the league he's. Oh. Tell you what, I'd go Madueke on the left, Saka on the right.
Okay, I defer to your judgment.
All good. Right. Do you want to wrap up now, Manny? Is that all? Or have you got any more to say about this game?
Nothing more to say. I will say this. I think Chelsea fans gone for a 2-1 win as well. But if we fail to win this game, that's it for our title aspirations. No doubt about it.
100%.
I do not see us...
If we lose any game for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, well, that's the worry because, we've got teams to face at home like Fulham and Bournemouth who are going to come in and really look to try and attack us and take advantage of some of our jadedness. Yeah, Chelsea also, that's going to be big. Chelsea will be going out for revenge after, they parked the bus in the semi-final against us, don't you know? Mm-hmm. And Rosenior got his tactics wrong in both legs. But they're going to want to try and snap at us. City at the Etihad. But listen, if City beat Newcastle, as I said, they'll be 2 points behind us having played the same number of games. So we have to win against Spurs. A draw is as good as a loss at this point. And I don't care about statement wins because winning is a statement. Just get the 3 points. If you don't, there's going to be a lot of soul searching. And I do believe that at the end of the season, there will be many, many departures from the club.
I don't know if you saw what Arteta said to the press. He actually said, "Oh, don't hate me if I don't hate me if I lose. Don't love me if I lose, and love me if you love me if I win," or something like that along them lines.
Since when did Mikel Arteta turn into Ellie Goulding? Love me like you do, Jesus Christ.
He seems to think that everybody hates him when he loses, but then when he wins, everyone loves him.
Well, that's not true. People either love him or hate him. People love him or hate him, regardless of whether he wins or loses.
100%.
It's going all wrong there.
He just gets stick when he loses. That's what he can't obviously take.
Yeah.
Every
can't stand it. Exactly. Emery got his fair share of stick, and I'm going to tell you right now, our 2 performances against Wolves this season were far worse than anything bad under Emery. People still talk about the 30-plus shots conceded against Watford. 2 own goals, 2 shots on target against Wolves at the Emirates, a 2-2 draw at Molineux. Wind your necks in. Jesus Christ.
100%. Did I say... I didn't say Orest's and Mason's prediction, did I?
Oh, let's hear what they say.
Orest has gone with Tottenham 1, Tottenham 1, Arsenal 1.
Ooh, interesting.
Mason's gone with 2-1 Arsenal.
Very measured. At least now we're on the same wavelength.
100%. Right, we'll wrap up now then. Do you want to shout out your socials?
Yes, I will. Catch me over here on Orest Talks Football and on several other channels on YouTube where I make appearances. And as I mentioned, I will be on the level-headed Arsenal fan Rashid's channel on Sunday at 3 p.m. UK time for the first 11. So, and look who's joined the party a little bit too late. Hey. I think we're taking this late, this is greatness thing a little bit too far, aren't we?
Listen, mate, Manny, better late than never, my boy. Shout out to AFTV Flair as well, bro. I see in the comments and MK's comments as well, my bro. Keep it up, bro. First and foremost, happy birthday to Oris, man. Where we at, man? I know I'm very, very late to the thing, but I had a few things going on, but I can't not come on, innit?
We was just about to wrap up.
I'm going to watch this back, man. But you know what? I have to have my little say and all that kind of cover. My Instagram has been going off from Arsenal fans, bro. Delusional Arsenal fans. And everyone's saying, oh, everyone's obsessed about Arsenal. But when you're there, bro, yeah, when you're up there, bro, you're a target for everybody, bro. How can you not lose a one-horse race, bro? That is, I've got so much to say, but I just wanted to come and say hello. I'm gonna be on the next one, and you guys keep it up, man. Do your thing, man.
Well, listen, Raj. Now that you're here, we're going to just give you. We've got 10 matches, so 20 seconds, 10 predictions. Let's go with
Go
that.
on.
And we're
Go
going to
on.
start from the very beginning, okay? Aston
Yep.
Villa versus Leeds. Who wins this one?
Villa.
Scoreline?
No scoreline because Villa's very inconsistent. I'll say probably maybe a 2-1, 3-1.
Well, most of us have gone for 2-1, so that's good for us. Brentford against Brighton. Bees against the Seagulls.
Ooh, that's gonna be a techie one. If Igor Thiago is on job, bro, yeah, I'd say Brentford's got this year. So
Yeah,
I'd say
don't forget Otara, Dango Otara. I spoke about him. He's
yeah,
gonna be key
Taro.
too,
That's
friend.
this is what I'm saying because both teams are good, bro. I'm gonna go with Brentford, man. I'm a London boy, Brentford.
Scoreline?
Probably a stinky 1-0.
Okay. Chelsea against Burnley.
Oh, Chelsea against Burnley, yeah. It's on paper, Chelsea. On paper, you're looking at Chelsea 3-0, 4-0. You don't know what Chelsea's gonna turn up on a day. So if I'm honest with you, probably a 2-2, bro.
A 2-2.
Yeah,
Well, that's
I've seen Chelsea capitulate before, bro. And then business end of the season, bro. We see what happens, isn't it?
against the Burnley team looking likely to be relegated. Well, that is a surprise.
Well,
Hammers
to be honest
against.
with you,
Go ahead.
well, just before you say that, yeah, Wolves looked like they was relegated, but they showed up against Arsenal. West Ham looked like they was relegated, but they showed up against Man United. So when your back's against the fence, yeah, and you ain't got nothing to lose, bruv, yeah, somehow teams turn up on the end on this part of the season. So Burnley, it could happen. You never know.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Hammers against the Cherries.
Palace against the Cherries. Yeah,
No,
Palace.
Hammers.
It has-
No, Hammers.
Oh, Hammers against
West
the
Ham.
Cherries. Oh, this probably a 1-1, bro. I'll be honest with you. Probably a 1-1. I
City
thought
against. Yeah, go
sorry,
ahead.
go
Go
on.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm
No, go ahead.
thinking
Please go ahead.
West Ham signing, making the new signings, all that. Mateus Fernandez, I think it is Mateus Fernandez. I really like that guy, you know. Just watch out for that guy next season, if they're in the Premiership still, innit?
Yeah, don't forget Tati Castellanos, another good signing. And
Yes.
as long as they have Bowen, they still have some hope. City
Yeah.
against Newcastle.
Come on. Do you know what it is? Yeah? As a United fan, there'll be nothing more than I would love to see City lose, yeah, but I need them to set pace on Arsenal, bro. So City has to, bro. This Semenyo guy, blood, yeah? Let me tell, yeah, let's put it away, bro, yeah? Man City, 3-0, 4-0, easy win.
Ooh, you are confident. And Semenyo is a fine player. Best two-footed player in the world today,
Do you know what,
I would
yeah?
say.
Listen,
go ahead.
do you know if 3-0, 4-0, easy win. Do you know if Liverpool, instead of giving a new contract to Mo Salah and Van Dijk, if they signed Gahey and Semenyo instead, they would have been in a different place right now, bro. I'm telling you.
I agree completely agree. Crystal Palace against Wolves.
Oh, now we've seen what Wolves can do against the Premiership leaders, but I'd say even that probably a 1-1 as well, bro.
Wow.
1-1.
Forest against Liverpool?
Forest is a sticky team for Liverpool. They have been in the past, but they don't have that caliber of players left anymore. If Morgan Gibbs-White turns up, then you know what is as well. Liverpool are very inconsistent as well. What did you go with, Manny?
I went with a 2-2 draw. Desmond.
What about Desmond 2-2? Yeah.
Yep.
What about Oris? What did he go for?
Hold on.
Yeah, probably 2-2 as well, bro. Desmond 2-2.
Wait for the Liverpool game. He went 2-1 Forest.
2-1 Forest. Yeah. You know what? Shout out to Oris, bro. We'll go to a 2-1, bro.
Two United fans in cahoots. Why am I not surprised? Sunderland
Come on, that's my
against
boy,
Fulham.
man. Sunderland against Fulham. Yeah, I say Fulham 2-1 or 2-0 maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Well,
that Coyote.
Yeah, go
That
ahead.
the Coyote throw is not gonna work against Wolves, man. They're gonna be parking the bus like crazy, bro. They're gonna fight for everything, bro. And you might even see a goal from Armstrong as well, bro.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, we're talking about Sunderland against Fulham and that Wolves game. We already spoke about that. But
Yeah.
I'm a bit surprised that you're predicting a Fulham 2-0 win because Sunderland have been in better form of late than Fulham. But
But like I
it is
said,
what it
no,
is.
they inform against bigger teams and they surprise bigger teams, yeah. But I believe when it comes to teams that are around your level, they got a lot more to fight for, innit? I think Fulham are a more rounded off team. They got like players wise, I think they got more quality than Sunderland. Sunderland on their day can be very devastating, but Fulham, yeah, man, yeah. I will be if
Harry
you show that,
Wilson.
bro. Harry Wilson, you got the Wolbies, you know what I'm saying? You got the Raul Jimenez and them, man.
Okay. Tottenham against Arsenal.
This is do you know what it is, yeah? I would love to say I played the fifth on this one because I just want to see it happen, bro. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, but I hope to God, yeah, the new manager, yeah, Igor Tudor, whoever it is, Tudor Coupe, 4x4, whatever it is, but I hope they come and rinse out us. I hope Arteta gets sacked this weekend. I hope Spurs turn up, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I swear to bro. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna do extra prayers today during Ramadan, bro. Yeah. I hope to God that happens, bro.
It's surprising because, as a Manchester United fan, you'll know that Spurs beat you in every game last season, including the Europa League final. I'm surprised you'd want Spurs to do well.
I would listen. Spurs are like us, have nothing to play for, bro. Yeah, Arsenal have. We've already started the downfall of Arsenal, and I've seen since then drawing against this team. If they drew against Wolves, what makes you think they'll beat Spurs? If we, Man United, that beat every top six team, anyone that's won anything last year, Man United has beat them. Yeah. If we lose against Spurs, yeah, and struggle against Spurs, what makes you think Arsenal's gonna win? But no offense, my brother, yeah, don't get it twisted and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of delusional fans that need to wake up and see what's going on. Because if we're not criticizing it, you should be criticizing it. The reason why we criticize Arsenal is because you're not criticizing Arsenal yourself enough, bro. That's what it is, bro. Nothing personal.
Believe me, I had my fair share of criticism about Arsenal and the manager. And Flair and I actually, ripped the team a new one just before you came in. So you just miss it. If you watch it on playback, you're going to see.
I'm definitely watching it back, bro. I'm definitely watching it back. I'm sorry for being late, but yeah.
No, it's all right. So what's your prediction for this one then?
I think it might be a 1-1 last minute goal by. Is Van der Ven fit, by the way?
Yes, he's fit and he'll be captaining the team.
And Romero, is he on a red card or anything?
Yeah, he's suspended, I believe. He got a red card in his previous game.
That changes a lot. That changes a lot because Romero had that little kind of galvanizes the team a little bit. But I hope so, man. It's a 2-1 last minute winner from Spurs, man.
Okay. And now, of course, your lot up against David Moyes.
Oh. I don't know what to say, bro. See, with Man United, bro, you don't know what Man United's going to turn up, bro. But I hope it's going to be a comfortable 2-0 win to Man United, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Šeško to score as well, bro.
Oh, Šeško has a knack of being a super sub, definitely.
Yeah, it's going to be a crossing from Mbeumo Air Šeško. Remember, I told you that.
What do you think of this comment, man?
I think Wenger's managerial days are done. He's enjoying his new life as a sort of a FIFA technical advisor and an occasional pundit. Getting him back in, it sounds fanciful. It would be a fairy tale. If he can get the players playing for him, then we'll see. Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think he would do well in a new, maybe 1-2 games as a new manager bounce. Like he's got the respect and all that kind of stuff. But tactically, the Premier League has changed so much. That's the same as us lot bringing in. That's the same as us lot bringing in Fergie back in until the end of the season. It just wouldn't work, and you don't want to tarnish their legacies, bro. Trust me.
Agreed. Right.
Okay.
Just to let you guys know, yeah, I don't know if you guys are going to organize it, but me and Mason, MK the Don, we're going to go on after the weekend going, because we're going to debate Man United and Arsenal, because we've got a thing going on in the social media. If you guys have noticed, isn't it? But yeah, I promise you I'm going to be more composed.
Oh.
Yeah, if you are going to be composed, I hope you'll. I think his phone's gone off, but
sorry.
Yep, you're back.
Yeah, just
go ahead.
Hopefully this weekend, me and MK is gonna have a little debate about Arsenal season and Man United season and what our targets were and did we both achieve the targets and stuff like that. Just want to let you guys know I'm a fan of football before I'm a fan of I'm a crazy Man United fan, but I'm a fan of football first, innit? So I'm gonna come in there, no bias, nothing like that. I'm gonna look at it as a mutual and I'm gonna talk honestly. So hopefully you guys choose into the Oris Talk Football on Sunday. Hopefully Manny's gonna be there, hopefully Flair's gonna be there. And yeah, hopefully it's gonna be a nice evening.
I'll let you know if I can make it.
Speaking of Mason, have you seen this thing that he's doing with the I'm not showing my face? Yeah.
Bit cringe, innit? But it is what it is, bro, man. If he wants to do it, he wants to do it. Like, it is what it is. But I've had a word with him privately about it. But at the end of the day, each to their own, innit, bro? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not here to call out nobody behind their back and all that kind of stuff. So when he comes, if he comes on Sunday, I'll address it like to his face and sort of thing, innit? If he's got his face
out. Wrong, I love Mason, but Mason, mate, you got to stop with this, like, fucking.
Yeah, no, bro, it's a bit cringe and all that, but you know, because it's coming from a United fan, it sounds a bit. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Coming from you got loads of followers on social media. I've seen you play. You got thousands of followers and all that. So for it to come from you, it makes more sense than it coming from me, innit?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll stick up for my boy Mason and say better not to show his face than to go a long time without, having a shave or a haircut. I mean, do you want to turn yourself into a Yeti or something like that? I'm not too sure where you're going with
do you know what? Really. Do you know what? Yeah, I could go ham right now, but out of respect here of not doing it behind his back and getting clipped and all that kind of stuff, I'm not going to do it here. I'll do it. You're just going to have to wait until Sunday because I am prepared. I'm going to bring receipts. I got everything, bro. Everything. All the DMs. I got things to talk about Thomas Partey that I told him 2 years ago about. He didn't believe me then. There's a lot of stuff that's going to come out. The closet's going to go open and everything's going to come out on Sunday, bro.
Okay, well, we can't wait for that. But Flair, I think we will wrap up now. But before we do that, I want to say thank you for coming on. And
I'm sorry for coming so late, man. I'm really, really sorry for coming late.
No, I'll tell you what. You might have crashed it, but you made it a lot more watchable now. And hopefully we'll get some more views. We've already got someone in the comments coming in, thanks to you. So first of all, let me say Ramadan Kareem, Khat Barakallah to you and your family. And shout out your socials. Shout out your socials and tell us where we can find you.
Man like Raj1 on Snapchat. Man like Run on Snapchat. And I don't really use my Instagram, anything else but for trolling Arsenal. But if you like to troll Arsenal, then come follow me, 5-star Raj on Instagram and Man like Raj1 on Snapchat. And that's all.
Perfect.
And one more thing. One more thing. Free Palestine.
Thank you very much indeed for that. Flair, anything else to add?
No, you can find me, AFC Flair, on Instagram. Flair Talks AFC on YouTube. I've started uploading a lot more on there recently. So feel free to check that out. It's pretty small at the moment, about 2.5k. But I want to boost it up, of course. So yeah, I greatly appreciate if you check that out. I leave my honest reactions about the games, previews, whatever. Talk about the players. So if you want to check it out, feel free. And yeah, that's about it from me.
Okay, take us home then, Flair. I did mention my socials, by the way.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Hold on.
I mentioned my YouTube channels, but not my socials. Manny Pangador1981 on Instagram and Threads. Pangador1981 on Twitter. I don't do Snapchat or TikTok. Maybe I need to catch up, but that's just me.
It's okay, I know.
I'd love to see you doing some TikToks, Manny.
Oh, that would be crazy.
Yeah, if I do, you lot will be the first to know, and it will be some decent content.
You know what? Be very scared, Manny, because AI is about, bro.
Yeah.
I have to be scared. Definitely.
Right, big up, guys.
Big up, stick up. Love you guys, yeah?
Yeah, in a bit.